Is it true that nothing in the world changes, only where you're standing when you're looking at it? Hello to my new and returning subscribers. My name is Nyawara Ndambia. Karibu sana to my channel. So ask yourself, where are you standing? So I recently found myself standing in spaces I had lived before. So I took a trip down memory lane and I visited places I had lived with my family before as I grew up. And it was such an interesting experience. So I visited one of the houses that we had lived in, and then another, and then another. And I remember one of the places I went to, I found the same security guard from the time I was a child when I was living there. And the guy recognized me. He was like, "Hii uso inakaa ni kama naijua." I recognized his face. And he even went about to talk about my other siblings and where we used to stay and all these things. And it was very exciting to see. Like, first of all, it was exciting to be remembered. And he went on to tell me how things have changed. But also, as I observed, things had changed. Like, for example, some of the stores I used to go to were no longer there. Duka moja ilikuwa imefungwa, ingine imeturn into like a residential space. But also, some of the things were just the same. For example, the guard was still there and the house was still there. Like, I recognized the gates, the house numbers. I was like, yo. And I could clearly see the different version of me that I was when I was in those spaces and the person who I was like revisiting the spaces. And speaking about spaces, so when I embarked on my self-reflection journey, right? So see, ilikuwa imefika time and I could clearly see the people who were around me were not the people for me, given the person I was becoming, right? And nilikuwa hapo kama scissors, bam, 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 bam. So I cut off a lot of people. And I cut them off and then I remained with this void space. And at first I was like, yo, hii space, hapa ni wapi? Hakuna kitu. Space be empty. And that led me, in the beginning, that led me to going back to the people. And I was like, hey, yo, hey, wacha nirudi hivi kwanza because hey, hapa kwani hakuna kitu. And I would go back to those spaces and places I knew I had outgrown. And when I immerse myself in those spaces or people or environments, I would then be reminded about why I had left in the first place. So I ended up leaving. And what can I say? Like, some of this journey requires isolation, and the isolation can be like, it's a lot of space. And at first I was like, hii space yote nitafanya nini nayo, like, you know. And I came to realize this space, you're creating space for you. This space is for more of yourself, more of your creation, more of your energy, more of people who are aligned. Like, you need to create the space to get more. Think about it like, let's say unaishi one bedroom na umebuy vitu na imejaa. Inafika point you're like, hey, I need more space. And you getting more space, when you're getting more space, when you're moving, you let go of some things, some old things, and then you get new things. You get me? If you get it, you get it. And if you don't get it and you want to get it, ask yourself, how else can I see this? Anyway, so yeah, I realized this space was more for me to come out, because the space previously was filled in with things or people or experiences that were not for me or from me. So now the space that now I created after scissors, after cutting things off or like releasing a lot, was now space to be filled from me. You get it? So yeah, so I realized I had changed, and also there was another experience I had with another house, or rather not actually a house, but I was passing through a space to get to the house I had previously lived, another house I had previously lived in, and I encountered two security guards were who approached me with very different energy compared to the other guy, right? The other guy was like, oh, I know you, okay? And these other guys were like, yo, who are you? Umetoka wapi? Where are you from? And what are you doing here? Because this is a private place and you're not allowed to be here. And I remember just being like, hey, yo, okay, umekuja na makasiriko, but I was also like, I could see where his aggression was coming from, and I remember telling the guy, just talk to me, I listen, like, don't touch me, don't use force, nishaskia, right? And there was another guard now who came through, and this other guard was telling him like, oh, you're kona kiburi and yada yada yada. And I remember I was looking at the situation and I was looking at the two guys talking, because they went on a tangent and they started talking not such pretty things, and I was really not affected by it. You know, when people say, oh, me, I don't care about other people's opinions, truly, really and truly, the true way to get there is to know you genuinely. Because I remember looking at these guys and I clocked it, like, this is something that would have upset me previously. I'd have been like, sasa, like, hii energy yote inatoka wapi? But also because it wasn't coming from me and it wasn't for me, I just put it in the nanya docket. It's none your business. It's not my business. Because I'm really not in charge, and I can't, and other people's reactions are really out of my control, right? So mi tu naweza jicontrol mimi. Na mi kama kitu ainihusu, bro. Bye. So yeah, so it was such there were two very different experiences, but it was also just how I was looking at the thing, you know what I mean? Because I think perspective is not really about seeing the world in the right way. It's really, in my opinion, remembering that your way is not the only way. That's the thing. Because I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, bro, life is up when happen here, but are you really seeing what's happening, or are you really just seeing it through what you're telling yourself is happening? And then just also ask yourself, how else, really and truly, how else can I see this? Anyway, that's my video for today. Thank you so much for being here, for being part of this journey, because I appreciate and and also, to me, I'm so proud of you. Imagine we're doing YouTube. This is something that me 2 years ago would have never thought. I would have been like but I need, like, focusing on, you remember the analogy of the dress? I was just focusing on, oh my god, do I have the right buttons, the right zip, the right and now I'm just me creating the dress, and I'm here, girl. I'm proud of you. So thank you so much for being here, and may you go forth and conquer and know you and feel from within. Like, oh, feel like feeling, and also feel like kujaza from within. Girl. Yes, sir. Bye.